What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. Got all your Juve news. All right, we got a new target to add to the list for Juve, and an old target looks like he's heading for free agency. All right, one young gun set to leave Juve, and another young gun set to lock in. We got the details there, and of course, Allegri's presser ahead of the big game tomorrow against Atalanta. All right, so like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. First things first, Real Sociedad seems to be the only team we've been scouting for a while here, as Zubimendi is the latest to be added to the potential target list for Juventus. All right, the 25-year-old Spanish defensive midfielder added to the list. He has a 60 million euro release clause, but while that price is high, his salary is right in line with what Juventus is looking to do, and that's at 3 million euros. So even with a boost from Juventus, it is still very, very manageable. Now, this one in general, for me, not making a whole lot of sense. All right, so a defensive midfielder to go in on one of those that a price tag around 60 million euros, even if you're throwing in players now to try and bring the price tag down, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. For me, it is not the profile we are in dire need of in the midfield. All right, so I'm not going to really put a whole lot of weight on this one. Agree, disagree, hit me in the comments. Now we get to Hermoso, a link that's been around since early in the season as a target for Juventus moving into the 24 summer. All right, and now it appears that the latest rumors suggest he is at a complete stalemate on a renewal with Atletico and is heading towards free agency. So Juve could have the door opening up on them to strike at bringing in a center back. Now, as far as the center back discussions go, we have a lot of links with center backs out there, and fans are kind of getting a little taken back by it as to why we are linked with so many center backs right now. Diamonde was the latest I brought you from Sporting yesterday, but we still have Bremer, we have Rugani, we have Gatti, we have Danilo that could play in there. All right, we're only saying goodbye to Sandro, but we brought in Giallo that could play anywhere across the back four. Yet to see him get some minutes, but still being linked with all these center backs, while we have Huijsen and Facundo Gonzalez also out on loan. It is a little bit bizarre. That tells me that maybe, just maybe, they have something in mind for maybe one or two of these guys. We have to see what happens. All right, especially if we're going to a back four, though. Very strange to have so many links when you have this many names around currently. We have to wait to see what develops. All right, but do you feel it's strange how many center backs we're linked with? Hit me in the comments. All right, now we get to the young guns. Miretti, more and more rumors suggesting that he is heading to Atalanta and will be used in a deal there, not just for Coupe Mainers, as Juve's also targeting Ederson as far as midfielders there go, but also looking at Carnesecchi for Szczesny's replacement, and nothing is happening with Szczesny's contract extension as of yet. So we have to wait to see if he in fact does extend his contract. Otherwise, Juve would be looking at trying to move him. As far as contract extensions go, we're hearing everything's on hold until the spring. However, today we get that Kenan Yildiz is working with Juventus, all right, and his entourage to work on the extension and finalize there. He is being labeled as the cornerstone to the future of Juventus, but his entourage is looking for a release clause inserted in there also, all right. So whenever it comes to release clauses, sometimes fans get a little bad taste in their mouth as far as, oh man, you still have the intentions of leaving. Look, this can be absolutely fine for the club. All you need to do is make sure that that release clause has you covered, all right? And again, you really can't go wrong with this. You want it to be high enough that you won't regret if all of a sudden he takes off and a team comes in and buys him out on it. At the same time, even if his play doesn't garnish it and it's way too high, you just open up negotiations, all right? So it's not really a big deal for the club, all right? And it just has this association with it that it's a little bit negative because they're thinking about moving on in the future potentially. It is what it is. My question to all of you is, what would you set the release clause for Kenan Yildiz at? Hit me in the comments, all right? And now we get to Max Allegri in his press conference ahead of the big game against Atalanta, which is set to be sold out, and Genoa home match following is set to be sold out as well. So despite the current poor run of performances, the fans still back in the club. Fino alla fine. Love to see it, all right. But Max's presser heading into this one. Kenny has recovered. Rabiot should be back next week, and we need to be better in the midfield and more solid in defense. Yes, Max, but we also need to be better at finishing. We need to have better attitude. We need to have stronger second halves. There's a list of things we need to be doing better, Max, all right? But he says, as far as his objectives, we are currently within our objectives that we set out to be on, and he says he is not worried, but he is disappointed in the latest run of performances. We have to turn it around. Tomorrow will be challenging with an Atalanta that has been in good form, all right? You guys know the drill. Tomorrow morning, live, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to get you hyped up for that one. Hope to see you all there. Fino alla fine. Forza Juve. Ciao tutti. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe, and hit me in the comments with everything you think.